Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast, your podcast dedicated to all things Animal Crossing. Episode 172 is brought to you by Colum Maine, Chloe, and Harry William Cornhill, some of our newest Patreon patrons. This week, Nina, Chuy, and I are going to talk about the Sanrio update coming to New Horizons and about the upcoming spring season in Animal Crossing. So yeah, how are you guys doing? Hello, Chuy.
Hi, Sergio. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty awesome. How has your weekend or overall week been?
It's been pretty great, actually. Been playing a new little game and lots of Animal Crossing, as per usual.
Nice. And hello, Nina. How has your week been?
Very nice. I've had a super relaxing weekend. I'm also playing a new game, and I just adopted a villager from Haken, from Claire, so I'm very excited about that too. It's been super good.
Nice, awesome.
I was almost thinking that you got one from my island, and I was like, wait, who went to your place?
No, I got Hans. She wanted to let him go because he's like so wintry. He's like a Yeti. And I've always wanted him because his house is so cute, and I really like that he's one of the mythical creatures. So, I don't know. I'm just very excited to have him.
It sounds like he's a hard worker. He sounds like the hands-on type of guy.
Well, I don't know how much of a hard worker he is because he is a smug villager, and I have a feeling they don't work very hard.
True.
But I do like them.
But they're great at pretending.
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
Yeah. So before we actually get into our topics today, I did want to mention it's a new month, which means new Haken artwork. And this artwork is actually not incredibly new. It was made over a year ago now, and this was made by CodiBear, a friend of the show. She does some really amazing stuff, but if you have followed Haken for a while, you'll know that she did the artwork for March 2020 for the release date. So this artwork was actually made for the calendar, and it was made a year ahead because the calendar actually goes to March, which this is the last month with this calendar. It's kind of sad.
It is.
Yeah, it's really sad. I'm sorry I didn't make another one. So don't expect another calendar for now. Maybe one day in the future we'll be able to make another one, but yeah, for now, we do get to enjoy this last piece of art that was in the calendar, Haken, March 2021. This piece, once again, was made by CodiBear. Really great. All of her info is going to be in the description for all of you to listen to, or I guess check out. She still does amazing things, and she actually gave me a lot of really great advice while I was making the calendar and everything. She's an Etsy pro. Yeah, so this piece kind of has the cherry blossoms going on a little bit early compared to the time of year, but that's all right. But we wanted to really capture, we've been playing this game for a year now, so we're out of that tent. The original piece was the players in a tent, nothing really terraformed or anything, but this one has, all the flowers growing, things decorated a little bit, and of course a little house and some cute villagers to go along with that.
Yeah, I love
Nice.
the way that she planned this a year
That's
ahead.
true.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, really great working with her. Had a lot of fun chatting with her. So yeah, check her out. She's got some awesome things.
The art style kind of hints to me. Imagine a paper Animal Crossing game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know
would
if it
love
would be an
that.
RPG, but it would. I mean, why not?
You know what? We're starting to be a little bit overdue for a spin-off here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's been a little while, and I think a spin-off would be much better accepted with well, actually at this point, I don't know. I think people are more looking for a certain someone to appear in an update,
Yeah.
Brewster. So if the next Animal Crossing doesn't have that, I can understand some people getting angry.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, really fun little piece. I'm really happy to finally have it officially on the show, even though we've had the piece for so long.
Yes.
This is the first time it's actually here in the show. So yeah, I hope you all enjoy it for the month. So let's go ahead and hop into the first topic for today, and that is this big surprise news that nobody expected, nobody saw coming off of the big Nintendo Direct that showed off the Mario stuff. But we have a Sanrio update coming to New Horizons. So classic Sanrio characters coming from, I guess originally they were in New Leaf through the Welcome Amiibo update, but
Yes.
now we're getting them officially in this game. And I don't know, are both of you surprised to see this happen?
Yeah, very surprised. But I love when Nintendo surprises us like this. It's the best.
Yeah.
And I think in particular, it's surprising that it's going everywhere this time. I mean, I'm glad. And, it seems like everyone is getting in around the same time. But yeah, it's nice to get, in a way, old content for some regions and new content for other regions.
Yeah, that's true. It's a completely new thing. So before we get too far into the discussion about them, I'll give you all a little overview of what is coming. And basically, this is all Sanrio themed stuff. We didn't really see anything beyond that. So we're getting 6 new characters and some coordinating furniture that goes with each of those characters. So the first one is Rilla, who is representative for Hello Kitty. Very classic there. Marty is the next one, which is for Pum Pumperine. And then we've got Etoile, I think.
Yes.
Is that how you...
Yes.
Okay, Etoile, who's the representative for Little Twin Stars. And then we've got Chuy, who is Sergio's favorite, Cinnamoroll.
Yes.
We've got Chelsea, who is representing My Melody,
Nice.
and then Toby, which is representing Keroppi. So all 6 of these characters will have their own house, their own set of furniture, all of their own things associated with them. They can, as far as we know, they're going to be only obtainable through the Sanrio / Animal Crossing Amiibo cards, and those will come out on March 26th. They are exclusively going to be at Target in the US, and the pre-orders haven't really opened yet as of when we're recording. They should be coming to everywhere, though. I think pre-orders did open in Canada for some places, so they're available there. The UK is getting them, Australia, Japan, the entire world is getting them for once. Last time, North America was left out, and it was a real bummer to see those prices skyrocket on all of those items. That said, it's really cool to see them coming out. Nina, you made a note that Animal Crossing World has a really great article about pre-orders for different regions, so be sure to check that out. And I actually talked to Justin and Drama a couple days ago, and they mentioned that some of the pre-orders did work for other countries outside of the UK.
Okay.
So if you're in Europe, I think the UK options, at least one of them, I think, shipped to France, as far as I heard. So be sure to double check those and see if that information has been updated. Justin does a really great job over there at Animal Crossing World, so be sure to follow them on Twitter and their website, animalcrossingworld.com. And the biggest interesting thing to me is that though the cards are available on March 26th, the update is actually going to be available on March 18th. So this update will be the one that adds these characters to the game. As of right now, the cards can be scanned. I've scanned them myself, and they really only give you some posters. They can be scanned at Harv's Island, and you'll get the posters. But outside of that, they didn't really have the characters appear. They weren't in the game at all. It was literally say you scan Rossetti, I think does the same thing, where you can scan him and you'll get a poster, but the character doesn't actually appear. But that's all going to be fixed after this update on the 18th, so I'm really excited to play with it for sure. And I guess let's get into the discussion here. What do you both think of the Sanrio characters coming to New Horizons? Sergio, are you excited about this?
Yes, definitely. Mostly the items. It's very nice to get the item set. And not only that, but we're getting it, at least here in North America, we're getting brand new amiibo cards. And to me, that kind of hints at, I mean, I'm hoping they sell well and there's plenty of demand because this could be like a precursor to brand new Animal Crossing amiibo. Probably more cards, but imagine if things go really well and we get brand new figures. That would be ideal.
Oh, I didn't even think of figures coming out. I guess I've lost hope on that. Yeah. But cards, I'm right there. You know me. I want to collect them all.
You know what else is interesting? I mean, they're coming to Target, at least in the US, at least initially. And if you remember, when New Horizons came out, Target had like a journal for a pre-order for New Horizons.
Yeah.
And they've also had like a Keiki Slider blanket and some clothing. I think somebody at Target really likes Animal Crossing, and that's awesome.
That's true. I mean, they got to get in on that. Animal Crossing's great. Yeah. And if you have their stuff, I'm going to go shop there and buy it.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. So what do you think, Nina?
I'm super excited. I've was just talking about how New Horizons needed more characters, and I'm pretty sure I even mentioned how I wanted the Hello Kitty potted plant recently too. So I'm so excited. I have the little bootleg version of the cards, so I'm really excited that they're going to come in handy again. They're getting their money's worth because they were nice and cheap. But they, this is going to be so refreshing. It's a new blood in the game, and kind of hopeful that this means maybe we'll see more new villagers. We'll see. It's exciting. Chuy, I know you have the real ones, but Sergio, do you have the cards already?
No, I don't. I have. It was like a part of the cards. It was just an image, the one that has KK in cinema roll, like vibing to music. I only have that, but I mean, I needed it because of KK.
Yeah.
I mean, excited. You need every KK slider thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there too. I am excited. I was really surprised to see that drop out of nowhere. And I was just like, this is great. This is exactly what needed to happen in year 2 of Animal Crossing. Just give us more characters that we can get. Yeah, so I'm all for it. I'm ready to get them. My one question is, I'm wondering how we're going to get the items from it itself. Because in New Leaf, like, we had the RV park, essentially, and anytime you went and scanned a character in, at least one that showed up with an RV, they would show up in a little place and you could actually order the items from there. This time around, like, there's not really anything that does that, like it's all basically, we can scan them at halves and that kind of, I don't know, we see the characters but it doesn't unlock any furniture,
Right.
So I'm really wondering how they're going to handle distributing the furniture once that update comes around. And it all just makes me feel like there's more to this update than we know. Like, I'm not quite sure.
I was reading another article on Animal Crossing World that was saying that it seems like when you scan the card, then they become available like in your Nook shopping, like under the like where you can order, like, you tab over to different levels, like it might be under promotions or something like that, kind of like the Pocket Camp, but that might just be speculation. I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I wonder, like both of you, I'm kind of just wondering, what are they going to do? How are they going to do this? But I think that would explain it. Like, doing the promotions tab thing, that kind of makes sense to me.
Another option, I mean, it sounds a little too good to be true, but maybe if you scan the amiibo, the character mails you one of each item the next day.
Oh,
yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be great.
If we had, what was this day that they had in Wild World? Was it like the yard sale day or something where you could go into
like a flea market?
Flea market, that's what it was. And you could buy their furniture. That would be super fun.
I would love that. Yeah, my initial little dream scenario though for it was that they would be crafting recipes that we could get when we
Oh.
scan them in. Because when you scan in an amiibo card, it works very differently from other characters that just visit your campsite. They always ask for you to craft something for them. And
Ah.
and my imagination was just thinking, oh, what if they give you a recipe for their items and, you kind of benefit more from not
Hmm.
inviting them to live because they just stop giving you those recipes and you kind of have to keep them in your campsite for a while to get them all?
Oh my gosh, that would be excruciating.
Oh, yeah, it'd be painful for players. So I don't think that's the way they would do it. But at the same time, I'm like, just give me more crafting recipes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
So my next question for both of you is, are you going to try to invite these characters to your island? Sergio, anything?
Honestly, no. Ideally, I want to get the items. Definitely all of the cinnamon roll stuff, but preferably without having to have the villagers on my island permanently. It's not that I don't like them. A lot of them sound really nice, but I'm just really happy with my first initial 10 islanders, so I don't want to get rid of anyone. We'll see if I really, really have to. I guess I will. I really want that couch for the cinnamon roll items, but hopefully not. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. What about you, Nina?
Yeah, I'm always up for new villagers and kill haul. I go through villagers pretty quickly. And even if, these Sanrio characters won't exactly fit in with the pirate section of my island, I do have like a flower section and a downtown section and they could
Oh,
totally live there. So
nice. Yeah.
I'm happy to bring them in.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of like that too. Like I swap out my villagers pretty regularly. I think as of late, I've gotten more in the habit of swapping them out because I had kind of the same crew throughout most of winter and
Mm-hmm.
even like a lot of fall.
Hmm.
So now I'm just like, all right, I've lived with these villagers for a while. I think if they ask to move, if they're not Pearl or Grizzly, I'm probably going to let them at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, I'm not really in a huge rush to get them. I'd
Right.
say I want their items for sure, but my priority right now has been kind of the newer villagers without amiibo cards. And I guess since I'm kind of focused on getting those and I have these cards already, the Sanrio ones, it's easy enough for me to get them whenever. But as long as they have a photo associated with them, I don't remember if they had one in New Leaf. Like I
Mm.
don't remember if they actually gave you a photo for doing like all the friendship stuff.
Hmm.
So if they have one in this one, it's definitely going to be something that I go for, you
Yeah.
Oh,
know?
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So my next question for both of you is, who is your favorite character from this set and who has your favorite item set? So they can be different.
Mm.
Sergio, I think I know your answers, but go for it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, for the character, it's Marty. She looks really
Oh.
nice. She looks like a sweet bear. I'm thinking figuratively and also literally because she kind of looks like a vanilla flavored gummy bear.
Oh my
But yeah, she
God.
looks very sweet. I like her. And
Don't name your
definitely.
neighbors.
But they're animals.
Oh my God. No.
Probably not. I'll resist. I'll be good. But yeah, the favorite item set has to be the cinnamon roll set. That couch, I need like at least 3 of them.
Yeah, that's really cute. I like that set for sure.
Yeah.
What's your fave, Nina?
I think that I really like Chelsea, the deer who's inspired by My Melody the most. She's
Mhm.
super cute. I love her little green hair. And I'm really interested to see what she looks like when she puts on other hats because she wears little rabbit ears. Like, and Marty
Mhm.
has like a little uh what is it called, beret on.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
all of these characters have accessories. So I'm interested to see what they look like when you switch out their accessories. Kind of like when you give Eugene the koala regular glasses, and he just his eyes are like little dots instead, because he's usually wearing like sunglasses. It's the funniest. So I'm excited to play around with that kind of stuff with these new villagers. As for the furniture sets, a lot of it is a little too cutesy for me. So I probably won't be. I'll probably catalog all of the furniture, but I'm not sure I'll be keeping everything. So maybe the Karopi set is my favorite.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because I feel like we almost chose the same. Like I was between, for my character, Chelsea and Etoile. I think Etoile, just a little sheep. They're adorable. I think they're just too cute.
Yeah. She's
I
awfully
always
cute.
love the sheep. Yeah. So Chelsea, very close second for me, but I agree with you with the Karopi set as well.
Yeah.
Like just the little frogs and everything. It feels like it's the most usable of the sets to me. As far as like my own tastes go.
And a lot of it can go outside, which works great for New Horizons.
True.
That's funny though, because I think Etoile is my favorite, my second favorite. So we are right, kind of in the same.
Yeah, we're right there, same place. I will say though, my favorite item of all time from any of them though is the little pond bridge thing.
Oh, yeah, that's cute.
Ooh.
That's gonna look really cute in a garden.
Yeah, it's gonna be adorable. Honestly, one of my favorite items that they ever made.
It'll be fun.
So my next question for both of you, and we kind of mentioned this slightly, but do you think there will be more coming with this update? Is it going to be more than Sanrio, or is this going to be it? What do you think, Nina?
This seems like a big update to me, especially coming so close after a very big Mario update. So I'm going to sit in my sad little rowboat of I'm not expecting anything big for a while.
Yeah, I get that for sure. Because, I mean, we've just gotten a huge set from Mario, which is a ton to buy just alone, and to have even more come up after that, it's quite a bit.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking, Sergio? Do you think there's going to be more with this update, or is it just Sanrio?
Initially I thought it would be just Sanrio. I am definitely expecting, if things go well, if there's demand for the cards, I'm expecting either more cards, more collaborations in the future. But you got me thinking about how the items are going to be, how we're going to be able to order them. Like you said, the update might include a different way of getting items from Amiibo cards. That's very interesting. If anything, I think it will be something like that. But I think mostly it's going to be future updates if the cards sell well.
Yeah, I'm kind of... Yeah, I don't know how they're going to handle it, but I guess as far as how I feel with this update, I don't know. For me, it's very suspicious that they've got it coming so much earlier than the cards are actually releasing.
Yes.
And so I feel like there might be some little things that aren't mentioned, kind of how we usually get stuff. And I'm wondering, like, this update's very close to the 1-year anniversary of the game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are they going to try to sneak a little bit more into it? So I do have that question for that reason. But really, outside of that, like, it is a pretty substantial update between a whole new set of characters and new furniture. I think the only reason there's going to be more is because this is definitely aimed around people who can afford it / find it to buy. Like, it's not something that's going to be massively available to everybody, so I do feel like they need to stick something else into the update to make it go kind of beyond the players who are gonna pay for something. Like this is secretly a paid update.
Yeah,
is what they're not telling
That's
you.
True.
Yeah, luckily not too expensive of a paid update,
Yes.
but it will be expensive in that not everyone is going to be able to get their hands on it.
Yeah, and for those who can't, I mean, hopefully you find places like Haken where we're generally pretty,
Oh, yeah.
I'd say, very charitable with our
Mhm.
stuff, very nice, and give things out quite often. So hopefully you find a lot of nice people who aren't going to really overcharge you on Nookazon, you know? Um, the other thing, though, it makes me feel like if this doesn't come this update, I am at this point expecting more characters to come in the
Yes.
future. I think there's not a lot that's off the table for me in terms of what New Horizons can do as an update, and now that they're doing a whole new character thing, it's the 35th anniversary of Zelda this year.
Yeah.
I think it's a very strong
Oh.
possibility that we get the return of those Zelda characters. I think there's still some Splatoon ones coming out. We just got huge Splatoon news in the form of Splatoon 3 getting announced. So as far as like some existing characters, I think there's the good possibility that they can make it. And even this might be a little side thing, but Monster Hunter had a character as well, and there's a
Oh, yeah.
brand new Monster Hunter coming out
Yes.
March. So a lot of things that have existed in Animal Crossing are about to exist on the Switch as well in a big way. So I don't know. I think it's definitely time to start adding some more characters. I think the one bummer with it is that these characters are tied behind Amiibo, and they're not like they're not going to be ones that you can probably villager hunt for at the
Right,
islands.
right.
I mean, the day somebody finds one of them on the island is the day people are going to be really happy, essentially, that they're like, this is really cool because there's like a paid form of the update, but there's also the free form of the update,
That'd
which
be
is
nice.
playing the game quite a bit to get those Nook Mile tickets.
Yeah.
So I want to pass this on to you both. Do you feel like this opens the door for more villagers to get added? Sergio, do you want to start there?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. And that would be pretty amazing because there's a lot of options if you think about it. We could get brand new villagers, which would be pretty great because, New Horizons didn't have that many. What was it, 10, I believe, or so?
Yeah, 8, even
or,
less
or
than
even
10.
less, yeah. So that'll be ideal to get brand new ones. We also have the option of returning ones because there's a lot of villagers that haven't returned from the previous games, or even villagers from collaborations, like you said, the Zelda ones, the Splatoon ones, or even new collaborations. Like I'm thinking, this is a big year for Pokemon as well, 25th anniversary. So there's a lot of Pokemon that could be villagers in Animal Crossing.
That would be so cute.
Yeah, it would be adorable for sure. But yeah, like even like I mentioned a lot of the old ones that we've gotten, some that have existed, but yeah, even opening up the door to even more Nintendo games or more video games in general, that'd be great. I'm all for it. So what do you think, Nina? Do you think this is going to bring more villagers to New Horizons?
I hope so. Like you guys were saying, we already have the Zelda villagers that exist. So it can't be any harder than bringing back the Sanrio characters and the Splatoon ones too. And I totally forgot about the Monster Hunter one. But also, we've already seen a Pokemon collaboration in Pocket Camp. So, some of those items, like there was that little Pokeball or like the giant Eevee plushie, like some of those items could be brought. That would be nice. We don't often see items cross from Pocket Camp into New Horizons, but I feel like Pokemon might be able to make that jump. That could be cool.
Yeah, and I'd say it's worth it. 25th anniversary for Pokemon. Might as well go big and put your stuff on Animal Crossing, one of the biggest games in the world at the moment. And I want to reiterate. What were you going to say?
Well, it seems to fit in with Animal Crossing so easily. So I don't feel like the items will feel out of place at all.
No. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sergio's on board.
Pokemon things for Animal Crossing.
Yes.
What's not to like?
Exactly. I mean,
yeah.
oh, sorry. I keep cutting you off. I'm sorry. Arguably, it fits in more than the Mario stuff, I think.
Yes.
But, Okay, now you go, Chuy. I'm sorry. You go.
That's no problem. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, I want to reiterate to people, like, Animal Crossing at the moment is one of the biggest games in the world.
Yeah.
And they're like, I feel like a lot of people just benefit from having their stuff in Animal Crossing at this point, because who doesn't want to celebrate that in some way? Yeah, because, as much as we may not be the biggest fans of the Nintendo items in the game, they are for so many people. Like, they are really great items, and a lot of people are really excited to have that kind of representation in Animal Crossing. So being able to spread that out and give more people the opportunity to really like play with these things and hang out with them, I think it's the perfect way to do it. Just bring us Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of bringing other things to Animal Crossing, Sanrio is a property unrelated to Nintendo, and it's making its way into Animal Crossing. What other non-Nintendo series would you like represented in Animal Crossing? What do you think, Nina?
Well, Nintendo has a history of collaborating with Japanese companies. So, I think that, it'd be most likely for them to continue that trend. So it'd be really cute to see other Japanese characters get Animal Crossing makeovers. Of course, Pokemon, like we were saying, but other cartoons that would be amazing would be like Sailor Moon. It'd be really cool to get all the different planets as characters. Or any of the Studio Ghibli characters. Ghibli? How do you say that one again? I always say it wrong, like GIF or GIF. I can't remember.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Those would be so cool. The like the cat bus would be the cutest character ever. Or Totoro or No Face from Spirited Away would be really cute. Or Calcifer would be like a really cool dragon, I think. Anyways, that would be cute. Or like a little depressed Gudetama egg shaped character. Would be adorable too.
Jackie loves Gudetama.
Oh, I'm so glad. Jackie's got good taste. But
yeah, she loves his little butt.
Yeah, they've had really random collaborations, like with 7-Eleven before, or that they had that collaboration with the like notebook, the stationery like sets. So, I think that they can come out with something from left field, and it would still be amazing.
Yeah. No, you listed so many great ones, and I'm sure tons of Animal Crossing fans would love some sort of Studio Ghibli representation in there.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a big one for people for sure. Sergio, what are you thinking?
So I'm a huge My Little Pony fan. I was born a brony. I was a brony. No, I'm kidding. But actually, I think they would work really well. There's a lot of people that like them. I think, the ponies or horses would fit well in Animal Crossing. But the ones I'm definitely thinking of are the Viva Piñata characters. Chuy, I know you will agree.
Yes.
They pretty much seem made for Animal Crossing. They would fit right in. And when we were talking about Target, I thought of another one. What about Bullseye, the dog from Target? That would be a nice crossover there.
That'd be really cute.
You know what? Yeah, who I feel like I heard somebody around mention that like Target really needs to capitalize on this like exclusivity deal with the Sanrio set and put in one of their own characters and Bullseye for sure.
Yeah.
Perfect little addition. We do have, is it Bones, who kind of has the same thing going on with like the circle around the eye, but it's not a red Target circle, so
you know what? And
Obviously.
then the item that would come in its house are those big round concrete balls that they have on the outside, so that the cars can't smash into the glass windows, and you could just like line your pathways with them. Perfect
in every way. Hilarious. All right. So mine, I mean, obviously I'm going to mention Over the Garden Wall as I always do. I have so
Nice.
many characters on my island already themed around that show, so that would be a great
Mm.
one. I'm really into Digimon lately. It's
Oh.
just like I got a Digimon little Tamagotchi V pet thing, and it has been really adorable. I just love washing away their poop and feeding them and giving them vitamins and battling them against other Digimon. So I'm super down for that.
Look,
Nice.
Chewy, I love Digimon also, and was super
Hmm.
into Digimon in middle school, but we can't have both a Digimon and a Pokemon collaboration. So I'm
Yes.
sorry to say,
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
Thank you,
not
Nina.
on board
Yes.
with this. They do not live
I
in the
mean,
same universe, and we cannot have this happening.
they could though. They
Mm-mm.
could.
Mm-mm.
I just love both.
I
I can't
know.
help it.
I know.
I'll make it up to you, Chewy. You know, for Over the Garden Wall. So when you're hitting your rocks every day, randomly you might get a rock fact.
Oh yeah, that would be great. It'd be so cute.
Oh my
Did you know?
gosh.
Did you know that if you put a raisin into grape juice, it turns back into a grape?
That's a rock fact.
It's a rock fact. All right. Well, that is it for Sanrio. We're very excited to see that come to the game. You can expect us to be, well, me definitely sharing some pictures of them coming to my campsite, getting some of their items. I'll try to help people out on Haken who can't get them. So, yeah, I want to be helpful to people because I know as far as updates go, this one is slightly more, I guess, inaccessible. Just like things, it's still a pandemic outside. So for anybody avoiding going out into that, I mean, I don't know that I feel like that adds another little layer
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
difficulty with getting the set.
Mhm.
Besides the cost of the actual cards, which as far as DLC goes, $6. It's not the worst that I've seen.
Mhm.
So. It's definitely better than some other games, but hopefully a lot of you who are wanting it are able to get it. I really hope you can. And for those who can't, just come to Haken. I'm sure you'll find anybody who can help you out.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was afraid that they were gonna be like in random packs. Imagine that you wouldn't get
Mhm.
all of them at once. No, but you actually do get all of them, which is nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, they all come in a single pack, and that's really great. Of course, that said, like I kind of want to order the Japanese packs because they are random in Japan. You get
Oh,
2 cards and one little poster. Like
oh,
the posters that you get from scanning in the Sanrio
Mhm.
cards.
yes. Mhm.
Those are what they're themed around. These little stickers that you get. And I'm tempted to try to get all 6 of them and order from Japan and get them. So we'll see if that happens. But they're not officially amiibo, so I feel confident in still saying that my collection is complete
Right.
without those.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm a sucker for that stuff. Yeah, so let's actually move on from this and talk about spring because it is spring in the game. I mean, not, yeah, I guess officially now, March will mark the beginning of spring. So with spring coming to the game, the snow has finally melted, and I want to ask you both, how are you feeling about the transition to spring? Nina, do you want to start here?
I'm excited about it. I kind of forgot how brown everything is when the snow melts.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit shocking to me. Like I use the light brown paths in most of my town, and they're like almost invisible right now. But it's kind of hard to remember that we started the game out with kind of it being just as brown. So
Mm-hmm.
it'll be so much fun to see it slowly turn to light green, and then in the summer it turned to that beautiful dark green. So it's just part of the transition, which I really love. It's also really nice to see my flowers surrounded by grass again. I didn't get rid of them in the winter, and they always kind of looked a little off. So very, very happy to have my flowers looking happy once more.
Yeah, yeah, I get that completely. I didn't really like how the flowers looked in winter, so
Yeah.
I dug them all up and sold them to Nook.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering how I will treat my flowers coming around this time, just because they spread so much
Oh yeah.
whenever it rains. And
Mhm.
now I'm just thinking, I think I need to keep them a little bit more contained when I come back to planting flowers.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Sergio, like, how are you feeling with the transition to spring?
It's very nice. Honestly, I have been waiting for this. I really like the snow, especially in New Horizons, but I think it overstayed its welcome a little bit. It was a bit too much. So I definitely like the transition and I agree with you, Nina. Like it was nice to not see it fully green because it would be like a little unrealistic in
Mhm.
a way. So it's nice that it starts brown and then it's gonna gradually turn into the beautiful green that we all love.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's very nice, and I'm looking forward to changing the color of my pads again because I made them blue to match with the snow, and now I'm thinking I'm gonna make them like greenish, just to be like spring feeling a little bit.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
then I also, for the snow time, I kind of removed some of the areas on Castaño to have room for the snowball rolling for the snowboys.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna rebuild that, especially the central part. I had the soccer field, and then it turned into like a community pool. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
thinking I can bring either of those back, or maybe something new. But it's just nice to have the area again.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, that's I totally forgot that. I remember seeing a lot of people kind of shifting their islands around so they can actually have room for snowballs to
Yeah.
spawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so being able to fill in those places once again, I think that's kind of fun though too. Like just having something that forces you to kind of rethink your space in some
Mhm.
way.
Right.
I'm always down for that type of thing, you
Mhm.
know? Yeah, so it'll be fun for sure. And for me, like, yes, it's all really brown, but I'm really actually liking these new colors a lot. It's making me feel pretty motivated to work on my island and get it all decorated. I
Nice.
think whenever the seasons change, I kind of start to get this feeling. I don't get it so much from like spring to summer because
Right.
the green, for me, that starts to really overstay its welcome. So I need that autumn to come, the winter to come.
Hmm.
But overall, I do like the shift. But I will say, I adored winter in this game and I thought it looked beautiful. But I am looking forward to the spring
Mhm.
this time around, especially because, like you said, Sergio, you had all these empty spaces. I feel like those empty spaces were my excuse for not decorating my island as of late. And now that they're gone, I'm like, all right, I'm going to fill this up. I don't need snowballs anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
empty space be gone.
Nice. I mean, that kind
Yeah.
of how it goes naturally with real life too. I enjoy the cold when it first comes around and then you get used to it and then you get over it and you're ready for a change.
Yeah.
So,
That's
it's
true.
the same kind of thing.
Yeah. It's been a hard winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, next question for both of you. Are you doing any spring cleaning in this game, Sergio?
Yeah, I am. I need to. I kind of let the flowers just go wild on their own during winter, so I have a lot of them to pretty much just sell or give away in Haken. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of work there, and also since I removed some areas, I kind of had to remove some of the paths around them, like the
Mm.
roads that I have in my island, and I want to rebuild them, but maybe a little bit differently, like change them up a little bit, like the pathways, the way they connected just to change things up a little bit. Like I feel like that would be nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, that's really cool. I like that you're rethinking your spaces, especially those flowers. There's so
Yeah.
many.
Mhm.
Yeah. What about you, Nina?
I'm working up on cleaning up my crafted snowmen, not the ones you roll, but the ones that are DIY. I
Right.
liked putting
Hmm.
those in my villager yards, and so I've got to pick those all up. Um, but I've also noticed that my villagers are looking very Christmassy and wintry with their outfits. So I'm really
Mm.
needing to gift them clothes that aren't so wintry. Like I had Blanche in a Santa outfit and Eric in a Santa hat yesterday, and I was like, oh no, this
Nice.
has got to go. So it's time to kind of get back into gifting them brand new clothes. And I'm also really excited that I can put the mushrooms back down all around my town. They looked so cold in the winter, so I picked them all up, and now I get to kind of make it nice and like cutesy cluttered again. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's really great. I feel the same there too. Like, so many of my villagers are just dressed up in winter clothing. I'm starting to see them kind of transition into clothes that are a little bit more suited for the warmer weather, you know? They're pulling out their sweaters instead of their jackets at this point. I give my villagers too many sweaters. I love them. They just look so cute in them, so I can't help it. But yeah, that said, like, I am all in on the spring cleaning. I think I have like a snowman DIY recipe that's still out, and I don't have the heart to put him down. I think he's been really happy where he is.
Just put him in the closet. He'll come back out.
Yeah, I gotta do that. So that said, I know, Nina, you kind of went over some stuff you're working on, but I guess, do you have any more projects planned for your spring in Animal Crossing? If you want to kick us off here.
Yeah, I'm still trying to craft all the DIY projects. It's taking me a little while. So I'm working right now on finishing up breeding my final flower hybrids. I want to have them all available somewhere on my island, in case I need them for like a villager moving in or something, like if they ask for a DIY project. And I have so many wreaths and crown recipes that I still need to find and then to make. So, there's a couple of flowers that I need a little bit more of. So I'm working on making another little garden area in the woods that looks a little more rustic than my like flower section that's really fancy. And I've got to clean up my beach eventually. That's kind of on the back burner. I made it very wintry and rocky and weedy over the winter. And as it starts to get warmer, slowly I'll start putting out more of like the summer games and the sand castles and things like that.
Yeah, those are really cool. I always forget the beaches exist sometimes. I mean, there's such a big portion of the island, but there's one. I just never focused on it too much, and I really want to change that with this season too.
Yeah. I have a lot of fun putting, like, I've got my pirate bar on part of the beach, and I've got a little fishing area set up on another, and a place where people buy and clean and fish for squid and things. So, yeah, I think that you can have some fun playing around with your beaches.
Yeah, I think that'll be cool. Sergio, do you have any projects coming up for spring?
So it's not like an island project per se, or at least not about decorating. But like I mentioned before, starting in March, starting tomorrow, basically, I'm gonna go back to focusing on the Critterpedia. For the first year, I kind of just caught whatever. I wasn't too obsessed about, if I missed a bug or a fish certain months, I was okay with that because I always said, there's always next year. And now this is next year. This is the second year. So yeah, definitely each month I'm going to be looking at what's available only for that month. And I'm going to make sure I catch the bugs, the fish, the diving creatures each month as needed to make sure I complete it as soon as possible.
Nice. Have you finished your fossils?
Yes, the fossils I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like those fossils are a sure thing for anybody who plays consistently for a year. They're always the easiest, and if anybody's finished an exhibit, it tends to be the fossils.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm really excited for you to like really work on catching all of the different things you missed.
Yeah.
And like for me, oh man, I'm just realizing like it's turning March very soon. We're recording last day of February for anybody who doesn't know, and I've been waiting for March to finish my Critterpedia for a long time.
Oh, nice.
There are a couple sea creatures that start appearing in March for the first time for us. So I'm almost there too. It's going to be a complete museum pretty soon. At least everything but the art.
Yeah. Sergio, I
Yeah.
want you to update us on like what is eluding you, because I had some fish and diving creatures that were super hard to find, and I had to like really actively fish for them or whatever.
Ooh.
So keep us updated on what you're having trouble with.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And I kind of have a feeling that there's gonna be some really easy ones that I just didn't catch either.
Yeah, probably. That's fun though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's bound to happen
Hmm.
to anybody. So for me, I have so many projects. I have a bunch. For one, I'm really excited to work pumpkins back into my island.
Ooh.
I got rid of them for the winter, just like the flowers,
Mm.
and I'm really missing having crops and little gardens for my villagers. I think
Mhm.
they've been starving all winter and they
Oh
need to start growing their own
no.
food again. I gotta plump them up for next winter. I've also, like I said a little bit earlier, I'm working on filling out more of my space and specifically with like a lot of greenery. I talked about how for a long time I didn't think I would have 5 stars because I had too many trees. And then one day I went and destroyed everything, got myself to 5 stars, stayed there for a while so I could start getting a bunch of Lily of the Valleys. I'm done with that. I don't need
Mm.
Lily of the Valley anymore. I have a bunch. I could get more if I wanted, but I don't really want to. I think I'm happy with the amount I have. So 5 stars is over. Trees in Haken is in. That is the main goal. Tons
Nice.
of trees, tons of greenery all over the place. That's really going to be my main focus going into
Oh,
this year
that's
of the
awesome.
game. Yeah. The other thing, I think we talked about how the seasonal things, they tend to happen very quickly. Stuff like the cherry blossoms, where we have a couple weeks to try to get as many of those recipes as possible, and then, basically just use them, right? I feel like there wasn't really enough time to enjoy them for myself,
Mm.
And so now this year, what I'm trying to do is really get started early with those types of recipes. Like
Mhm.
I have some leftover cherry blossoms, and I want to start filling in my island for cherry blossom
Oh,
season
nice.
rather than trying to collect the recipes,
True. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be the big focus for me, I'd say, just like making use of the seasonal items that I got last year that I didn't feel I got use out of when I got them?
Yeah.
Right. Hmm.
Yeah. So with that, I do have one last question in regards to spring, and that is, what is some advice that you have for players going into that season? Nina, you want to start?
Mm. Just to keep an eye out for the bamboo recipes. Luckily, Isabel made a little announcement that the young spring bamboo branches or whatever they're called are available. But also, you can go to Nook Islands and get the bamboo island. It happens like I feel like more frequently than other rare islands, so that you
Yes.
can
Hmm.
get that spring bamboo that you need, and then also the bamboo shoots, because those are
Mm.
like really rare in this game for some reason. They were all over the place in New Horizon. I mean, in New Leaf, and in New
Yeah.
Horizons,
Yeah.
they're really hard to get. So collect that kind of stuff and look for those recipes. I think that some villagers craft them, but they're probably mostly balloon recipes. I
Hmm.
just got the last bamboo recipe last month, and it was the little bamboo basket, which was like one of the ones I wanted the
Oh.
most.
Oh,
So,
nice.
with all of the seasonal recipes, just keep an eye out for them. Don't miss any
Yeah.
balloons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that basket's really cute.
Yes, I was waiting
I
for
love that
it.
item.
It
Yeah.
is cute. And I love that the bamboo stuff can all be recolored too. They look so good.
Yeah, they have so many options for those.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Sergio, I guess what would you give as advice goes for going into spring?
So I would just say to just enjoy whatever you decide to do. There's some camps here. For example, for most of us that have been playing since day one, this is basically the start of the second year. So maybe I would recommend to focus or to think about some sort of gameplay feature that you have kind of neglected or you just never got around to, because this is the second year, so you might want to try something new. Maybe if you didn't go on a lot of Mystery Island tours, you could try to do that just to change things up a little bit. Or if you're new to the game or fairly recent new player, just take it easy. Definitely take our advice in focus on the seasonal items and pay attention if you want. And if you need help, the Haken Discord is very helpful all the time. But like I always say, there's always next year. So don't stress too much if you miss something. We're here to help, but yeah, there's always next year.
There's always next year. I love it. Yeah, no, for sure. I think there is really so much that you can focus on all the time. Like maybe you don't give your characters around the island clothing that you like to see them in,
Right.
That's something that I want to do more of for sure. So, yeah, just find the little things that make it feel like a more unique island that you like for sure. For me, I would say all of the cherry blossom recipes are coming up, and it's going to be a quick 2 weeks. So I'd say try to learn all of the balloon spawning patterns, which is basically like they show up at certain times, and you can kind of manipulate them to show up even more, more often for you. So it's going to be a busy day of collecting, and try to join a place like Haken's Discord and find other people who you can trade these recipes with, because for me, I'd say my biggest thing is that like I spent so much time trying to get the recipes, I didn't get to spend as much time as I would have liked actually making use of them. So
Yeah.
that would be my advice. Try to make that as quick as possible because it goes by fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do want to mention we did talk a lot, very focused on spring, and autumn is the next season for everybody in the southern hemisphere. And we'll probably spend some time next episode talking about that a little bit. So be sure to stay tuned for that. But we're definitely going to spend a lot of next episode talking about the Mario items. None of us have been able to play with them quite yet. We are recording the last day of February, so they're not available till tomorrow for us. So yeah, you'll get our thoughts on the Mario items then, as well as some cool fun facts that I'm sure we'll discover regarding the pipes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be fun. So let's go ahead and end the show with Haken's Islander Corner. And for those of you who don't know, every single week we ask our patrons on Patreon a question and read their answers out loud here on the show. This week's question was, are you planning on getting the Sanrio cards and getting those villagers and items on your island? So we'll go Nina, then me, then Sergio today.
Okay. The first one is from It's Kitty Cakes, which is such a cute name. They say, yes, I have no idea if, how, when, or how much it will cost, but by golly, I'm getting some. I don't know if I will keep any of the villagers permanently on Petunia Island yet, but so many of their items are to die for. I need the teacup stool, the rainbow parasol, and everything, literally everything Karopi. So
Nice.
cute. Yeah, they do have so many nice things. I'm excited.
Yeah, and you're in luck. If you are in North America, they should be $6. And I think Europe card prices are a lot higher, and Japan they're a lot higher. So really, we tend to get the best deals on these things in the US. So $6 is what you're looking at if you're in our part of town.
Yeah, as long as you can get a pack, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Right.
So our next answer is from Kakulu, and they said, the Sanrio characters have always been a bit creepy to me, so I'm going to pass on having them on my island.
Oh.
I'll try for some of the items, though.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so even if you don't like the characters, I'm sure you're going to find an item in one of these sets that just, speaks to you.
They're definitely like that pop Japanese style, that kind of like really bright or pastel in your face. So
Yes.
I understand that they're not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speaking of not being for everybody, Andrew Lopez said, "No, unfortunately, this doesn't do anything for me since I'm not into stuff like that at all. I would love some Nintendo stuff other than the Mario items." And yeah, I mean, Nina, like you said, they all look very similar. So yeah, if you're not into the aesthetic, there's not a lot of variety here. But like we discussed during the episode, this could open the door to other things, other Nintendo items, or other non-Nintendo or even non-gaming collaborations. So yeah, there's always potential for something else, something that you might like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeslyn says, luckily, I snagged a set of the cards a while ago at an elevated price on Amazon, but not as high as peak pricing. I'm looking forward to picking up a lot of the items and having Etoile on my island. Very cool.
Nice.
I've got some Etoile fans. She's really cute.
So cute. I love her. So our next answer is from Newt, and she said, I'm going to see if the cards will be available here in Norway so I can get them for some family members who have started playing Animal Crossing New Horizons for sure. As for the villagers and items, since I already have the cards myself, I plan on giving them away to as many people who want them as possible. I don't like the practice of overpricing them, so I want to just give it all away for free so more people can enjoy them. And Newt is the reason why I have the Sanrio set. So she is incredibly generous, and she bought a bunch of extras way back in the day when they'd first come out and was able to give me them at a much reduced price. Peak pricing, like Jeslyn mentioned earlier, it's like over $200 for the set. And that is a lot to pay for a single set of cards, no matter what you're looking at.
Yeah.
So yeah, Newt, thank you so much for doing really great work and bringing these cards and happiness to everybody.
Yeah, definitely. And our last answer for this week is from For the Whim, and they said, I'm definitely hoping to get the cards when they release. I wasn't able to get them last time they came around, but the villagers and furniture sets look way too cute to resist. I can't wait to see what they look like and feel like in the game itself. Yeah, and you know what? I mean, since that's how we saw them on the reveal trailer, yeah, they're gonna look nice inside, but also outdoors. I mean, yeah, that's the beauty of New Horizons in a way.
Yeah, a lot of these items we've never been able to use the way that we're going to be able to use them here.
Yes.
So I'm sure we're all excited for it, for sure.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in to this episode of Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. Don't want the episode to end? Well, you can keep the conversation going by Nintendo switching over to our Discord. Just follow the link in the description, and you can talk with other people who love Animal Crossing as much as you do, including Sergio, Nina, and me. Want to support the show in a bigger way and get your voice heard during the show? Visit patreon.com/ChuyPlaysNintendo. You can support our show with just $1, get special access to a secret room on Discord, join in on the Haken Islander Corner, and even read a monthly newsletter covering all things Haken and Chuy Plays. We really appreciate the support and put your money towards some great things on the show. Tuned in on YouTube, the comments are a great place to let us know your answers to the Haken Islander Corner. Are you planning on getting the Sanrio cards and getting those villagers and items on your island? Let us know. If you dig what you hear, please KK slide over to that review section on your platform of choice. Let people know what they're missing out on. Haken is a wild production brought to you by Chuy, Sergio, Nina, and all of our patrons. We thank you for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you all next time.